Thank you so much for coming. My name is Pavan Agarwal. I'm with AngelAi and one of the chief sponsors for this conference. And we're having this conference, as you know, is to kick off Congressional Crypto Week next week. And we wanted to set the pace, set the tone. The U.S. and El Salvador obviously has an amazing relationship. And the fact that El Salvador is on the leading edge of crypto, right? And it's such an honor for you to be here to make sure that Congress gets it right next week.
Yeah.
So what's your advice to Congress as we lay down policy for America?
Well, we are a Bitcoin country.
Yeah.
As you know, almost 4 years ago, we created the Bitcoin law, which it mentioned that it was legal tender for El Salvador. And we're like very early adopters. And in El Salvador, you can buy everything with Bitcoin. We also give incentives to the population so they could learn how to use it. We created our own wallet. And in the wallet, it came $30 in Bitcoin. And people were scared to use it. Almost 4 million Salvadorians downloaded the app. They were scared to use it. They used to go and cash up the money. Now they regret because it was like 19,000 at that time.
Yeah, right.
By now, it's higher the price.
Yes.
But it's been quite a journey because as early adopters, I think we have to face a lot of pressure from the international banking organizations like IMF. We had to face a downgrade in our ratings. So it's not been easy. But with this administration, I think it's easier because they have the same vision. They have their own strategy for their own reserve. In El Salvador, we have a Bitcoin reserve. And also a lot of innovation bodies and frameworks bodies. And I think not only the Bitcoin law, the digital asset law, the robotic law, which is the last one that was passed in the Congress 2 weeks ago, and the AI law, plus the new agencies give us a lot of advantage in El Salvador to compete worldwide. In the United States, I think it's difficult because some stakeholders, they cannot understand all the crypto world. And I think it's part of the innovation. Also the economies, they have to innovate. They have to be not to regulate and cut the wings, but also to promote it. I think there's a new generation that understands how it works. And of course, the United States has been always ahead, and we can see states like Texas are more friendly than other states. And they are also attracting a lot of companies because of the framework they have.
Yeah.
So my recommendation to the people that works in the Congress to listen the different perspectives and to try to be also the leaders in the crypto world.
Amazing. So I was in El Salvador a few months ago, and I met with one of your major banks, Banco Azul. And I got one fact that was interesting, which is only about 30% of the population of El Salvador is formally banked.
Yes. So that was so important, the Chiva wallet, because 4 million of our citizens downloaded the app.
Yes.
And, the international banks they're always talking about the rhetoric of financial inclusion.
Yeah, right.
That was a big step.
Right.
And they criticized it. They didn't jump on it to improve it.
Yes, exactly. And I see blockchain as leapfrog technology. Like I'm from India, so one of the problems India had for decades was telephone communication, right? Getting wires to a billion people, to a billion homes, right? So, but then when wireless came out, it completely leapfrogged it, and they said, we don't have to lay cable anymore.
Yeah.
And now everyone has a phone and two phones,
yes,
right?
Yeah, even two.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So blockchain is like that. It's leapfrog technology. It can leap over the traditional banking system and get people banked that were not banked before. And I think the reason you had this pushback from IMF and other organizations, because I think that scares them.
Yeah, they lose control.
Yeah.
You know, it's more for the freedom world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they don't understand that. It's totally innovation. It's a revolution.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they don't want to lose the control.
Yeah.
So we have to find a balance in El Salvador because we need to work with these huge organizations. So that's why we had to do some changes in our Bitcoin law. So right now it's not legal tender anymore, but it doesn't need to be legal tender to use it in El Salvador.
Yep.
As I mentioned, you can go to a supermarket and buy with Bitcoin. And still, I think we're ahead from different countries, especially in the Western Hemisphere. And right now, the United States with the different government, I think, is showing again the lead. For example, Bo Hines was in El Salvador, and it's very important to get to know that we're in the same race.
Yeah.
We are, I'm going to share you the last administration before President Bukele from the left wing, FMLN, sold the whole gold reserve. The rest of the gold that we had, they sold it.
Oh, no.
They increased a lot of taxes. President Bukele did completely the opposite, cut 40 taxes, also started building again our reserve. But the Bitcoin reserve that is public, you can chase it, you can get to know, well, it's in a cold wallet, but you can get to know that we buy Bitcoin every day. And nobody understands that policy, but in the future, you'll see El Salvador in a different position than the rest of the country.
Yeah, I mean, I love the forward thinking. I love the positive embracement of technology, and this administration is also moving in that same direction. They announced the Bitcoin reserve. So I would only imagine that the Trump administration and your administration in El Salvador are probably very good friends at this point.
Of course.
Very much aligned.
You know, the United States is the United States.
Yeah.
And to have them doing the same, like they are building their own reserve, and we are doing the same, I think is good for us. Because in the past, we were like a bad example for the rest. They used to tell us the Bitcoin experiment. It's weird.
Yeah, right.
And now that we see a completely change, and that is giving the rest of the country incentives to move forward, to do the same.
Yeah.
I think it's good for us, and it's good for the rest of the countries.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations, and
thank you very much.
I wish you and El Salvador all the success.
And always come back to El Salvador. There's always something happening in El Salvador.
It was beautiful. I love my time in El Salvador. It was amazing.
Well, I just mentioned, there's a lot of direct flights from the U.S.
Yeah.
From the important cities like LA, San Francisco, Houston, Dallas, Miami, Georgia, and Atlanta, of course, New York, Washington, D.C. Come and visit us, do some sports like surfing, and then we have good incentives for tech companies. They can do innovation, and that one of the most incentives that we have is no taxes for 10 years. So I think it's good for companies to go and, do some research, create their own product, and then to develop for 10 years. I think this is a good incentive.
Amazing. And you mentioned sports. Now, my son, he's 11. He's a big soccer fan.
Okay.
So how's El Salvador soccer team doing?
Well, right now, we're not doing good. We need completely different strategy. But we just had like a very important soccer event for the youth. So next time, probably your son can come and play.
All right. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Cheers.